Hear that? Exactly. Nothing. Going for a walk out in the woods, except for the crunching of the snow. It's a nice quiet place to just kind of think and maybe come up with some ideas for my next projects, like this video. Since it's National Hobby Month for January, according to the internet, I thought maybe I could give you some tips if you're trying to find a new hobby to start, or some ideas on getting some inspiration for your next project. Maybe I can help you out there. Come along with me. Always having a notepad handy or something to, keep track of. Obviously, most people have their phone with them, so that's a good place. I tend to prefer putting them in a notepad or just writing them down, thumbing through old notebooks with all your written down ideas and sketches. That's the biggest thing. It's kind of hard to sketch on a phone. I find it easier to draw on a piece of paper. Most of the things in this video I'm talking about, I am kind of applying towards the making world, but some of the things will apply to other stuff too. But the biggest thing is like picking what you want if you're starting a new hobby. It's like if you're looking for woodwork, or maybe it's something to do with leather work. I mean, there's all kinds of variations of making things, but the biggest one is like once you determine like, okay, I want to be a woodworker. Do you want to make furniture, or do you want to make smaller things? That makes a big difference, mainly for your tool set. If you want to make cabinets and furniture, you're going to need a lot bigger set of tools, table saws, saws, power tools, that kind of stuff. But if you're, let's say, carving, you can get away with a lot less if you just want to start out by buying a set of chisels. Pick your craft and then pick a project. Obviously, you don't want to go out and buy $10,000 in tools and then you find out that most of the stuff you bought isn't all the stuff that you need. So maybe if you want to do leather work, I would say something small like a wallet would be a good idea, or things of that nature. And since I'm just kind of going on the fly here, I really don't know if I'm missing anything. So I might have some pointers at the end of this video where I'm inside and it's warm. I watch I listen to the podcast Making It. It's got Jimmy DiResta, Bob Claggett, and David Picciuto, all YouTube maker people, builders, artists, whatever you want to call them. But they all kind of do the same thing. They make stuff for a living on YouTube. But one of the episodes Jimmy was talking about looking through the world through I don't know if he said paper towel roll or toilet paper roll, probably paper towel. But it's like, if you laid everything out on your desk, your plans, your supplies, all of the stuff to finish it, it's a big pile of stuff and you gotta know where to start. But it's like if you just look at through the little hole of a paper towel roll, and it's like you're only really focusing on one small thing at a time. So it's like you just got to take steps, break it down into little things. Like he said, he always, all right, I got to get this done, so I'm gonna do that first, then I'll worry about the next thing. It's just like that with any project or any life matter, really. But as far as inspiration goes, having something to write on at all times is really handy, because everybody be like, I got that great idea, and you're like, oh, I'll think of it later, I'll write it down later or whatever, and then you're like, nope, it's not there, I completely forgot. And it's kind of annoying because you're like, oh man, I knew it was a great idea, but I can't remember what it was. Writing things down really helps. Oh, that sounds great. And it also kind of gives you a, I'll say reference, but something like of a trigger for me. It's like I'll write an idea down, and then maybe I'll never make it, but then I'll like thumb through the list and I'll see it and I'm like, oh, that's cool, I forgot about that. But then you're like, oh, what if I took this idea and changed it a little bit from that? But seeing it kind of triggers something in your head, for me anyways. You're like, oh yeah, I can do this instead. But having that's why I like to write it down, because I'm just flipping through. You know, if you have a little app on your phone, you might only see a little blip of your list of ideas, where you're just like your whole sheet of paper is full of sketches and things, and something might just stick out more than your phone would, or computer screen kind of thing. Another thing that I like is Pinterest. It doesn't cost anything, and what I like to do is just make all kinds of different pins, folders if you will. Like I got one for weird project ideas, and then one's for laser things, and one's for, you know, resin projects, just all kind of categorized out. So if I'm looking for something to build, or an idea for my next project, I go on there and you can search for anything you want. You're like, I'm gonna make a hippopotamus bowl, and just type that in the search engine, and you start getting all these pictures and random things that come up. It's like, oh, I didn't think of that. I'll save that one, and I can use maybe this idea to inspire me to do this little thing on that project, and this and this. You know what I mean? When you're walking outside in the cold, you literally get brain freeze. Dad jokes. Making this channel, I'm by no means a professional at any of the stuff that I do, but I really enjoy it. And even if I can make one video that inspires somebody to go out and do something themselves, make something or try something new, even if it's not making, then my job here is done. I just like making the videos because it's fun for me. Quick recap, I guess I would say, get some notebooks, have one like by your nightstand, maybe one, I have one by my TV stand, carry one in I got like a soft side cooler I carry for work, so I got one of those with me. Delivery driver, so I just like keep that in the work truck, and every time I come up with an idea, or if I'm on lunch break or loading the truck or whatever, I just have an idea, chuck it in the notepad or notebook. You also carry some like pocket sized notepads, the small ones, maybe about the size of a deck of cards. Those are kind of handy. I always take a notebook whenever I go somewhere, like on vacation. It's like always thinking of things wherever I go. I see stuff, it inspires me, and write little notes down on each of the things. Pinterest site. Start just searching for anything that really interests you and making notes, taking you know, you just save the thing into different pins or each idea category. So like woodworking, leatherwork, resin projects, laser, whatever you're into, sewing stuff. There's like so many ideas. Be inspired, you know. Don't be scared to try something new in the world of making, or just in the world in general. It's like you can't get anywhere, you can't get anything accomplished if you don't take that first step, and whatever it is you're trying to do. If you want to learn how to become a woodworker, or a different career you're interested in, or something like that, you know, dating or something, oof. Just wherever your quiet place is, happy place, whatever you want to call it. As far as like the shower, I mean, I don't know how many things you like randomly think of when you're taking a shower. Just you know, find a spot that you like to chill and think about stuff, ideas that inspire you, just get inspired. Start making stuff, making progress. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm gonna go in the house, so I have to walk like half a mile, get back. I think I'm being watched by a deer. So, yeah, hopefully I can maybe throw another point or two in when I get thawed out. So I'll see you back at the ranch, as they say. Okay, we're back inside where it's nice and warm, although I had to turn the furnace off because it's loud. Alright, so get your notebook, field notepads. They're fairly cheap. You can get like 4 or 5 in a pack on Amazon. These are kind of nice. These fit in your pocket for carrying around. One thing I did forget to mention was when you're talking about inspiration, YouTube, duh. Another thing going with YouTube and notepads is I like to write little tips or things that people reference on their videos and stuff. If you're like me, you go through like 5,000 videos and you're just like, which video was that one thing on that I was trying to do, and then you can't find it. So another thing to make notes on besides ideas for builds, don't spend lots of money on tools that you won't need right off the bat. Pick your project and then go from there as far as finding the tools you need to do said project. I tend to be one of those people that dive into something and I'm like, I'm gonna go do this, and then I spend a bunch of money on a bunch of tools and I don't even use, or just want to get everything right up front when I really don't need to. Just save yourself some money and build your tool set over time when you figure out what you want to do. And obviously if tools are tools, they're not going to go bad, but you may never need them. So if you don't have a lot of money, you could probably borrow a tool from a friend or something like that. The world is separated by 6 degrees of separation is what they call it, where you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So like, you definitely know somebody that knows someone that has a tool that maybe you could buy or borrow, or maybe somebody has a workshop that you could use or go over and they'll help you if you're just learning too. So that's an option. Don't worry about having a huge workshop to start your hobby. Just find a small room that you're not using, or even a corner of a room. Really depends on what you're doing, obviously, but most of the time you really don't need a huge work area for most things. If you're just starting, don't worry about not having any place to work. Like my YouTube studio is a workbench and some stuff I put up in the basement of my old house, which looks like a dungeon for the most part, but I just put up some stuff that is handy and I can use for working on things, and just some little trinkets and stuff that kind of decorate the area, just kind of things that make it more fun and enjoyable to be in, kind of stuff. But you don't need a huge workshop. Obviously having a huge workshop is cool, and hopefully someday I would have one of those, but you don't need one to start. I apologize. The bird upstairs is driving me nuts. I'm sure you can hear Bob squawking. There's so many different things that I could possibly tell you that would help, but I guess the most important thing if you take from any of this is just get started. Getting started, whatever you choose, is the first step. And then once you start rolling, you pick up ideas and what you want to do, what things you like to do, and what suits you. And obviously, like, you choose, you pick, you find what you like the most, and then you build in that direction. Don't worry about if you'll fail, or if you are worried what other people will think of your products that you make, or whatever it is that you decide to do. Don't worry about anything anybody says. Do what you want, that you enjoy, and just take the first step in whatever direction that you choose. Hopefully some of these tips are useful to you. I kind of rambled a lot, and I typically tend to ramble because I'm just all over the place. But I just want to inspire people to try stuff, you know. Just, I don't care if it's making something or if you just want to try riding a skateboard. Whatever, you know. If that sounds fun to you, try it. Don't worry about if you fail, or if you are worried people will make fun of your performance, or whatever you want to call it. It's like, if you enjoy it, then that's all that really matters. But hopefully this video helps, and maybe I'll make some more videos like this in the future. But maybe not walking through the cold weather. It's really cold out there. Alright, well, till next time, folks.